all the way back here because I'm going nowhere really fast. So small back step is the first thing. It can just be a replay. You can just lift and put your foot down, whatever. Actually drag back just a little bit, staying on the ball of my foot so I keep my athletic stance. Okay. So small back step, and then with the crossover step, and this took a lot of, I guess, a lot of practice for us to figure out at UT because we initially learned slapping with our crossover step to cross over in a straight line here, foot pointed towards the pitcher. Well, we were all having an extremely hard time learning to stay closed over the plate. So the whole idea behind staying closed at the plate is when you open up, you're losing plate coverage. So if I'm crossing over in a straight line, then me keeping my hips and my shoulder closed, this is really uncomfortable. When I'm going full speed, I'm not going to end up in this position to keep full plate coverage here. When I open up, I'm losing plate coverage, so that's when we pull off of those outside pitches. If your kids can learn to stay closed, they will attack the outside pitch. It almost looks down the middle to them. So we had to transition from learning to stand in a straight line to stepping in towards the plate and kind of angling our foot towards our shortstop. So from there, the crossover step looks something like this, rather than pointed towards our pitcher in a straight line, which is going to make us want to open our front shoulders. I crossed over here and had my foot kind of pointed towards my shortstop. This is a lot more comfortable to stay closed than this is. Now as kids get better and they get more comfortable with it and they are a lot more aggressive, then that inward stride, it may shorten a little bit, but they've got to stay away from this because all they're going to do is open their shoulders and open everything up towards the pitcher, pour the momentum towards first base, which means all day long you should throw them over the outside corner because they're going to swing and miss or hit off the end of the bat. So the first step is the small back step. And then you take the crossover, and this is really hard to break when you have kids that have already learned to slap somewhere, to get them to step kind of in this inward slant towards the shortstop, stepping in towards the plate, down and over the plate at contact, just like when you hit. The big thing is there's a lot more in common with the natural hitting stance and slapping than we make a lot of times. So when we're hitting, we learn down and over the plate. When you're hitting, you're learning to stay closed at contact. It's the same concept when you're slapping. With the hands, it's the same bat pad.
Typically you want to start in the back of the box and have a really crossover stretch, but you have to make sure to keep your hands back at all times.
He said you gave him your views on the situation. I don't know since who always says there was a Jewish.
Just a little check, that's good.
That's
good.
Nelson, you see.
That's good. Okay. That's a great job. She does a great job of hitting the ball over her front foot, which she does it slightly out, so contact is made just before this foot touches the ground. Also, she tends to hit it right here in the barrel, which tends to spin the ball a little bit, going right towards the 5-6 hole, and she's coming hard out of the box. Caitlin's doing a great job.
Jews are being accused. Private Fattenberger had been a political prisoner for 7 weeks.
Now from here, you're going to bring your left foot forward. Now the key with your left foot coming forward is you want it to go at the pitcher, not at first base. A lot of slappers, their first movement is they're trying to already get to first base. The key is for this back foot to still go to the pitcher until you make contact. Then from there is when your next movement is towards first. Next, with your hands, you're going to want to choke up on the bat as your back foot is coming forward. Now, the amount you're going to choke up on the bat depends on if you want to do a soft slap or a hard slap. The more you choke up, the softer the slap can be. The less you choke up, the more power you're going to have on your slap.
We're going to switch hands here. She's going to start
in her contact or her crossover position. She's going to work with that backhand, really creating, again, some back lag and making sure her barrel angle is really deep so we can get the ball to go to the left side. Go ahead, Alex. Really good. You can see that she's really finishing her extension when she does this. She doesn't roll over that hand too soon, which is really key.
Again, the 3 keys to the perfect soft step are fast feet, slow hands, keeping your hips and your feet pointed towards the shortstop on contact, and placement. Great job, Bree.
Foot to give me just a little bit of a slide, which will work for a timing. So I'm sliding it back. It's not big, it's not huge, it's just a slide so that I'm clearing a pathway for my back leg to come forward and plant as I'm going forward. My plant foot is going to be pointing roughly towards that 5-6 hole. Not perfect, not great, but right there towards that 5-6 hole, because that's where I'm wanting that ball to go. So once again, my front foot slides back, so it's clear for my back foot. Back foot's going to go down towards that front of the box, towards that 5-6 hole. Now let's talk about our hands. When my
Contact position, with your shoulder nice and in, and now opening up. With that, player will drop, and then starts your combo down. Then she's going to go to contact point twice. 3 and 4, throwing her hands to the ball. On that third block, she's going to punch the ball for the perfect slap. Now, you know this. Her crossover step was straight, and she wasn't already running towards first base. It's very important, especially for younger slappers. That crossover step has to be straight. So we're going to do it again. Throw our hands to the ball, shoulder down in, hands inside, not casting into the off-screen, and poking that ball. There we go. Negative, cross, pull. We're going to go one more time. Really, really emphasize getting the player's hands through the ball and through the zone as much as possible. Cross, 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 excellent.
In this drill, they'll begin to finalize their timing,
The ideal hotel for the best price.
decide when they need to leave for particular pitches,